This short video will discuss the choice board rubric, how you will be graded, and how you will upload the rubric with each choice board that you submit. Let's take a look at the choice board rubric. This is the choice board rubric. You will be graded on a 10-point scale for each choice board that you submit for a total of 60 points for all 6 choice boards. As you can see, proficient is 2 points, so you're consistently independent with steady evidence of accurate and/or appropriate knowledge, performance, and disposition standards. You're consistently and independently reflective, data-based, your decision making makes good sense. You're meeting expectations for entrance to teaching and course expectations. That would earn you 2 points in each of the 5 sections on the rubric. Competency emerging is 1 point. You're intermittently independent with steady evidence of some accurate and/or appropriate knowledge, performance, and disposition standards. Basically, everything from the proficient category is being intermittently evidenced. And then significant improvement needed is a 0.5 point. So you're lacking independence and/or demonstrating inconsistency with evidencing accurate and/or appropriate knowledge, performance, and disposition standards. You're needing quite a bit of mentoring to demonstrate all of the different things that are needed to evidence proficiency. There are 5 different categories on the rubric in which you will be graded. Evidencing a rationale for choosing the activity for the specified content area for specific grade level and setting. You're connecting the activity or the observation to NILS, Next Generation Science Standards, and an IEP goal when appropriate, with appropriate alignment to grade level scope and sequence with citation of a credible source. All information needed is included. Product meets the product criteria and the criteria of the task as stated. Presentation of information is from a new perspective. Your product is engaging, differentiated for varied levels, and draws the learner into the lesson. And you're evidencing professional language. It's free of bias and subjective reflections, no repetitive syntax, grammar, and/or spelling errors, and has a professional appearance. When you are going to upload your choice board, if you are doing, let's say, for your first choice board, which is due on Monday, September 17th, 2018 at 8 a.m., let's say you are going to do something from Social Studies Group 1. So you are going to put 9, 17, 18 in here, and then you are going to put the activity that you completed from Group 1 down here. So as you can see, then when you go ahead and hit File and Save As, when you save your rubric, 9, 17, 18 would be here, and then that Group 1 activity, let's say that you decided to do the concept map, then you would write concept map here. You will hit File, Save As, so then when you save it and your supervisor opens it to go ahead and grade it, she will see that on 9, 17, 18 you turned in a concept map. Now, let's say that 2 weeks have gone by and the next due date has come up and it's September 30th. So let's say for September 30th, you decided to do Science Group 1. So then you would open up the same exact rubric that you had from doing the concept map, and you are going to type in 9, 30, 18, and then let's say you decided to do the experiment. So you would go ahead and type in experiment, and then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing. File, Save As, and then you would upload it to ReggieNet. So all of your grades from Social Studies 1 would be here. Then your supervisor would open up the same rubric and put all of your science grades. This way, your supervisor does not have to keep track of the multiple field-based students that they have completing choice boards, making sure that everybody's got one from Group 1 Science, Group 2 Science, and so on. Once you are going to go ahead and upload this, you are going to go to 392 on ReggieNet. On 392 on ReggieNet, you're going to go down the left-hand side and click the Assignments tab. Once you click the Assignments tab, you will see all of the choice boards that are due for you. They will open 1 week in advance. So as you can see, the first choice board is due September 17th by 8 a.m., but will open on September 10th at 12:05 a.m. So you have a full week to go ahead and submit this. You also can be doing these choice boards in advance, saving them on your computer, and then just submitting them when they are due. You can submit them anytime during the week that they are due. So when you want to go ahead and submit, you will just click on the choice board activity, and then you will go ahead and add your attachments, click Submit. Do not forget to add your rubric as an attachment and make sure that that rubric is ongoing. The last thing that I wanted to discuss with you is coming up with assignments and choice boards for those students that are in life skills settings. You may be looking at this and thinking that this is a very difficult thing to come up with, a very difficult thing to modify for some of those students that are in life skills environments, because you might not be doing science experiments, you might not be taking field trips. But let me try to encourage you to think outside the box. In terms of an experiment, you can do something in terms of cooking for your students. That would be considered a science experiment. You can have your students hypothesize what you think is going to happen when you put, say, the Jell-O in the refrigerator or when you put the cake in the oven. Your scientific method would be your recipes. Your tools would be the different things that you're using for measuring. Those would be your materials. So I encourage you to think outside the box in terms of that. You can come up with very simple games for your students to play. You can take a science or a social studies idea that a reg ed teacher is doing, and you can make it with Boardmaker or something that your students would be more apt to understand and be more apt to be on their level. There are many different things you can do. In terms of a concept map, it doesn't have to be anything very complicated. It could be something like the 3 modes of transportation: air, land, and sea. And you can have pictures of different types of cars. You can have a bike. You can have boats. You can have different airplanes, different types of transportation. Same things with, types of animals. You could do air, land, and sea animals if you're doing something for science. If you're taking a community trip with your students, you can turn that into something choice board criteria for social studies. You can have students just studying their specific community or just their state, their town. There are many different things that you can do to think outside the box to make this fit for your classroom. I would also encourage you to come to Rectangular Table half hour in advance of module beginning from 8 to 8:30 in the mornings. If you have an idea, or even if you're struggling to think outside the box and struggling to come up with ideas for your adapted learners. Again, thank you for listening to this video in terms of uploading your rubric and some ideas for designing your choice board activities for students who are in an adapted environment. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the question box below this video. Thank you.